Welcome, my friend, to our Operation Greatness podcast right here. This is Becoming Unlimited. Okay, to begin, you are unlimited, and right now I'm asking you to open fully to the expression you are. We'll talk about what all that means shortly. You were living only a small fraction of your life. Excuse me while I reach for the best visual on this. Like, if you think of yourself as this cap of water, this cap containing the whole ocean, that's a good visual. This cap is about less than an inch wide, maybe 3/4 of an inch in diameter, 2 centimeters probably. If you think of that as what you had thought of as the size and scope and allness of you, when the reality is the Pacific Ocean is a small approximation of what you are, and you're no longer confining yourself, limiting yourself to just that small cap. You are, it's kind of like the drop of water becoming the whole ocean. That's a better visual of you becoming unlimited. So right now I'm asking you to open fully, breaking all previous prisons, confinements, limitations you had put on yourself, and opening fully to the full expression of life, of love. You are destined to be. You are here to be. You are now being. Will you do that? This is all a decision, because it's only your beliefs about your limitations, your previous limitations, which, what? Limited you. Okay, so a little context here, actually a lot of context, and we're going through this very, very quickly because I have an appointment in 57 minutes with my marketing strategist, my consult. It was supposed to have been yesterday, but anyway, it's today, and it's in 57 minutes. So we're going to have to complete our Becoming Unlimited. We'll have to give you everything you need to become unlimited between now and then. So take notes on this. Pause and reflect this often. Contemplate this, receive this, breathe this in, meditate on this, and take notes and post about this, because this is our Operation Greatness chapter meeting. So you are here to use Becoming Unlimited to bring yourself financial freedom and to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate everyone connected with you. That means all of your online friends, as well as everyone in your local area. You're helping them become unlimited as part of you becoming unlimited. There's no limit to how humanity liberational this message is by you taking it to heart and becoming unlimited yourself. You're no longer limiting the gift you are to the world. There's no limit to that. There's no limit to how much happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, success, prosperity, contribution, impact your life is for the world. You're becoming unlimited. You have become unlimited. And actually, because that is your nature, So it's not a matter of becoming unlimited. That's a catchphrase to get your attention, to get people into this message. There has never been a moment where you were limited in any way. There has never been a moment where you were anything other than unlimited. And it's just a matter of removing the prison walls, the limitations that never were there on you in your perception of yourself. You came into the world unlimited, and every moment you were and are and always will be unlimited. So this conversation, this is life transformational here. Anything less than that for you in how you are receiving this message is just another form of limitation. You're no longer placing this on yourself, right? Right. Acknowledge that, affirm that, own that. The only thing that has ever stood between you and anything you wanted was you. So remove that barrier, no longer limiting the unlimited. How does this feel? This has that your inner truth detection system is saying, wow, he's speaking the absolute truth here. I have to pay attention to this. I have to really absorb this, embrace this, honor this, because what are you other than, well, let's go back even further here. What is the two-word phrase that describes reality and is the only thing that is true? Two words. All of the whole cosmos is described or defined by two words. Two words. What are those two words? You might want to pause and reflect and stretch your mind, become unlimited, and recognize those two words. Two words describe reality, truth, as an absolute in the whole universe. Only two words. God is. Period. Anything after that is imposing a limitation on the unlimited. This is what omnipresence means. Present everywhere. There is nowhere God is not. And this is part of Christianity. It's part of spirituality. It's part of every major religion expresses that fundamental truth, that absolute knowing in its own cultural way of expression, right? God is. There is nowhere God is not, especially and including within you. So you are God's instrument for miracles. You are God's gift to the world. We did another podcast on this. You might want to check that out. I think that was, I don't remember if that was podcast number 6. That was one of our greatest gift shows. This was a quote, and I don't remember who said that quote. Your life is God's gift to you. Your life is God's gift to you. What you do with that gift is your gift to God. Let me say that again, because you want to take this in, you want to breathe this in, you want to feel it, you want to live your life this way. Your life is God's gift to you. What you do with that gift, with your life, is your gift to God. So, that's what, I don't remember who said that either. I don't know. It's in the Our Greatest Gift show that we did. It was one of the last 2 or 3, I think. And it was an extension. We talked about it in 2 shows. Anyway, okay, so that was someone else's information. That's the same thing. It's a different way of expressing it as what my message is, which is that you are God's gift to the world. You are God's gift to the world, and how you live that gift is your most fulfilling life by focusing on how can I be of greater service to more people. That's how you are giving that gift, because remember, God is, I just looked out the window and looks like a horse, but it must be a deer. I don't think I can show that to you without disruption. Anyway, that's very interesting at this time to look out and there's a deer there. That's pretty interesting. Well, so I wonder if I could take a picture of it and show you the picture. Well, that would be kind of silly. Anyway, it's a deer out there. Well, so what you do with your life, with the gift you are, that's your source of happiness, joy, fulfillment, well-being, peace of mind, success, prosperity, impact, meaning, contribution. By being your gift, by giving the gift you are far and wide, no longer placing any limitations on that, being unlimited, that's how you live your greatest life, fulfilling, achieving, living your divine design, duty, destiny, Dharma, by being that gift you are, by no longer limiting the unlimited, and you are that expression in the world. So I've talked about this since the beginning as well, that, at least of our Operation Greatness chapter, that your work is receiving God. And now, what does that mean? That means becoming unlimited. And your purpose is extending God, being that gift you are, that unlimited expression of God. Are you hearing this message? How much more can you hear this message and become not the drop of water or the cap of water, to become the whole ocean? And that is at least a small, like 1/4% of the infinity you are, of the unlimited you are. So hear this. This is planting seeds in your awareness, in your consciousness, in your presence, in the gift you are, in you as the unlimited expression of love you are. And by the way, so I talk about this as your purpose is extending God. Remember, I do have a flag right here. Like, the American flag is so beautiful because what are you other than this star lighting, dispelling the darkness in the evening sky, or as they say, the darker the night or the sky, the brighter the star shines, right? And you're this little star, which is not little. A star is big, is enormous, is, a whole planetary system. You are this star in the corner, and you're igniting these 3 stars next to you, igniting these 5 stars next to you, igniting these 7 stars next to you, igniting these 9 stars next to you, next to them, and the whole sky becomes unlimited as well by your example, by your hearing this, by your taking it to heart, by you living this, by you extending this. So I talk about this in terms of Your purpose is extending God. And what does that mean in a practical way? That means extending love. What does that mean in a practical sense, in an everyday way? That means being of greater service to more people. So you are here now serving, leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating as many people as you can. And there's no limit to that either. Doing a little, LITL, leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating, a little more today than you did before in what? Being of greater service to more people. So you're doing that through your Operation Greatness chapter by leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating every one of your online friends with your profit partner link that is your potential, which is unlimited also, for financial freedom, as you are empowering every one of your online friends to become financially free, doing a little more today in being of greater service to everyone connected with them the same way you are doing this with everyone connected with you, even in your community, in your local area. So, go back to some context here. Being unlimited. Like right now with you're doing this through operationgreatness.com/leader, by the way. That is where you are through there, operationgreatness.com/leader. You are leading your own Operation Greatness chapter and leading, inspiring, transforming, and liberating, doing a little more today. Every one of your online friends and everyone in your local area. That's unlimited. There's no limit to how many people you can transform, liberate, empower, help become free. Guide them in becoming free and unlimited by walking them through this video, by leading them through getting everything out of this that there is to be gotten. And there's no limit to that either. So let's go back to some context here, because context matters. That's ultimately what led to this conversation. And we have 43 minutes maximum here before I have to switch over to my marketing strategist. Okay, so I don't know where to even begin here. Let's just start because, so I was doing my work this morning before I got out of bed, and that involves a lot of breathing. And by the way, anytime you want to get back to God, to receiving God, to extending God, to being God's instrument for miracles in the world, all you do is turn your attention within yourself. I call it give in and go within. Come back to your center, which is your place of power, and breathe in. Breathe in. I call it breathe back, breathe back, breathe back into being, or breathing God, because remember, God is omnipresent, present everywhere. There is nowhere God is not. So within each breath, you are breathing in God consciously, and that is returning you to your center, to your place of power, to your reconnection. If you ever lose any part of that, if you ever falsely perceive yourself as being limited in any way, breathe back into being. Breathe back. Breathe God. So let's take a deep breath right now. And by the way, in this breath, we are connecting, because remember, there is nowhere God is not. So this breath, you're breathing in God, I'm breathing in God, every one of us are breathing in God, and we're connecting in God as well. So let's take this deep breath and connect very deeply as our human family. Let's do this together now. Ready? And we can hold this for a while as well. Let's do that for the next one. you feel how connected we are? Because the perception of separation is a false perception, a limitation on the unlimited. Remember, God is infinite and unlimited. The same God that breathed life into Jesus or Moses or every human that ever lived that's what you and I are extending into the world as God's instrument for miracles, which you are, as God's gift to the world, as you are. So now so I was sitting there, I was doing my work this morning, breathing, being aware, perceiving. It's called witnessing, or the I am that I am. And I just knew, okay, becoming unlimited. And I didn't say, okay, wow, becoming unlimited. I have to do that podcast. And so it was like 7:17 or something. And I got up, and maybe I didn't quite get up then. Anyway, I had my appointment at 9, and so I knew that, wow, I have to do this right now. And here we are. And I knew that this was like the most important, powerful message for every one of us to become unlimited, or in removing the limitations that never were there. Okay, so here we are. And let's go back even further in terms of context. Okay, this church that I attend on Sundays, I really love. Michael Meerdad is he's the pastor of that church. He doesn't really call himself that. He calls himself part of the spiritual leadership team. Anyway, so he's been talking about this for, 2 years maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's an important message, and I want to share part of this with you as well. Okay, so I heard this in one of his sermons. I don't remember when this first was. Let's call it a year ago. But there's this woman, and her name is Loretta, and she's a very beautiful woman and really friendly, sweet. And she was sitting maybe 2 rows ahead of me and down a little. And Michael, the pastor, was talking about, if I think of her as a beautiful woman, I'm just limiting her, because she's unlimited, actually. Her beauty is a small part of who she is. So if I focus on just, wow, Loretta, you're a beautiful woman, and you're sweet, and I like your personality, that might be a big compliment to her, and yet that's a limitation on the unlimited. Because if I'm not perceiving her as the expression of God she is, then I'm not seeing her at all. All I'm seeing is beauty, woman, sweetness, nice person. Those are great. Limitations, that's kind of like the cap. I'm not seeing the whole ocean. I'm only seeing a small, 1/4,000,000th of what she is. That's a lot of limitation. That's a limitation of human, of woman, of beautiful woman, of sweet, beautiful woman. Do you see how I was limiting the unlimited? How are you relating to this yourself? So, and actually, it's less important as even that is, to recognize how you were limiting others. Let's just focus on how you had been limiting yourself. So if I were in limitation, and why would anyone want to do that? Because you are unlimited and you always have been. So why would you ever impose any limitation on the unlimited, on the infinite unlimited, which we have a word for that, and my word is God. And remember, all words are like a finger pointing in the direction of something. You don't analyze the finger or the word. You move beyond the word to what that word represents, right? Because that word itself is a limitation. And how is it even possible to limit the unlimited? That doesn't even compute. How could I be so arrogant to think of me as able to limit the unlimited? That's not even comprehensible for me to limit the unlimited. How is that? I can't even conceive of limiting that which is without limitation, right? So anyway, our focus is on how we had limited ourselves as God's gift to the world, as God's instrument for miracles, as the expression of the unlimited in limitlessness. That's what you are, the expression of the unlimited in limitlessness. Easy for you to say, maybe. So, if you thought of yourself as human, that's a huge limitation on the unlimited, right? I'm going to take a cup of tea here, or a sip of tea, or I'm going to receive God. So, because you are so much more than human, like if you thought of yourself as a body, well, that's just the body. This is only the gross body. What about the lower astral and the higher astral and the middle astral? And what about the causal? You are so much more than the body. The body is just one. That's kind of like going back to the bottle cap. You're so much more than a body. You could say you're a body, you're the emotions, you're the intellect, your spirit. That's 4 bodies. Or you could say you're the pain body or the food body. You're the energy body called pranayama. You could say you're the manas, the thinking and analytical. You're the vijnana maya kosha, which is the intellect, pure reason, intuition. And you're the bliss body, the ananda maya kosha. I really like that system. And you're beyond that. I mean, there's other points of reference. Like you are a point of reference for the infinite, unlimited, and you're expressing infinity in the world. You're opening to your gifts, and there's no limit to your contribution to the measure of value of the gift you are to the world, right? So, if you think of yourself as, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a child, I am immature, anything you say after I am is a limitation on the unlimited. If I was thinking about this in bed and I was kind of smiling, like if I say I am handsome, that's a limitation as well, because why would I want to be something based on appearance? Appearance is just one aspect, one very small surface level aspect. If I say I am friendly, well, what if even using the word I is a limitation on God is. If there's someone in need of help and warrior needs to appear or the lion needs to appear, then I'm not going to be friendly to an attacker or whatever it is. So whatever's appropriate is see anything after I am. This is the simple truth. You are, and anything after that, like I said, God is the two-word phrase describing reality in the whole cosmos, and you are that expression from your perspective. I mean, if you think of, like God experiencing God through you, your expression, you becoming everything it is your divine design, duty, destiny, Dharma to be, that is your role, that is your duty, your purpose, that's what you're here to achieve. You're here to be all you are meant to be, and that means being as much of the gift you are as is possible, and there's no limit to that. So, for you to give any of your attention to anything you don't want, that's placing a huge limitation on the unlimited you are. Why would you ever do that? Because where you give your attention, you are giving your power. That's how you are creating your life. That's how we are creating our world. So when all of us become unlimited or recognize we have always been unlimited, then there's no limit to the amount of good we are being in the world. You recognize that, right? So be that gift you are. So every morning you wake up excitedly, passionately, exuberantly. How can I be of greater service today? I get to transform more people's lives today. I get to take my Operation Greatness chapter out into the community today. I'm going to reach 10,000 people. Well, hey, wait a minute. That's a limitation. Why would I ever limit the unlimited? I can reach 1 billion people. I mean, actually, absolutely, you can reach 1.72 billion people. I mean, really feel this here, okay? So you have your Operation Greatness chapter here. You might want to close your eyes and see this. Okay, I got my own chapter through operationgreatness.com/leader. I'm leading my own chapter now. I'm getting all the posts I can make to transform the lives of every one of my online friends, okay? So now see that you have led, inspired, transformed, and liberated just 1,200 people, 1,200 of your online friends. They have gotten their own chapter through you, through your chapter. Just visualize this here. And 1,200 people are getting, your 1,200 people are getting their 1,200 people. Now you've transformed the lives of 1,440,000 people just by getting your 1,200 who are getting theirs. And then those 1,440,000 people are getting their 1,200 people. Now you, as God's gift to the world, as the expression of the unlimited in limitlessness, you have transformed the lives of 1,700,000, probably 720,000, I don't know, 1.72 billion people. You've transformed their lives. That's your potential. That's what's happening just by you getting 1,200 people who are leading their own Operation Greatness chapters through you. And you're getting whatever that is, $98.50 for each of those 1,200 people per month. 1.72 billion people just by you getting 1,200 people who are then getting 1,200 people who are then getting 1,200 people. That's humanity liberational. That's how much the value of your life is, of the gift of your life, using the post that we're all sharing with you as Operation Greatness chapter leaders. So you have the power just by getting 1,200 of your connections online as well as offline to lead their own Operation Greatness chapters, to lead their own. And I mean, you have the power to do that. That's just simple math. And yet, what if you got 10,000 people among all your online friends and in your local area? That's certainly, I mean, your power is unlimited. So let's go back to I am. The only thing that you can say is I am. Because if you say I am free, I mean, I like the sound of that. And yet even I am free, well, is that in your mind or is that your life experience? That's still limiting the unlimited. Because how can there be something called bondage or slavery or the opposite of freedom? If you are free, then that's kind of like an obvious thing, an absolute. Okay, I can explain this a little better from if we step back from there for a moment. Like, if I say I am a man, I mean, that's obvious. People can look at the body and they can see, oh, he's a man. I don't need to go around telling people, hey, I'm a man, because that's obvious, that's self-apparent, or I'm human, because that's obvious, everybody can see that. Freedom is the same way, because the simple fact that you are, that I am, that means you are free. That means you are the expression of the infinite in the world. There is no limit to the unlimited, and you are the expression of that unlimited nature. That is who you are. You are unlimited. Is this kind of making sense? So to say I am free is just beyond obvious, because of course you are free, because you have the full power of God behind you. So any thought of limitation is false, and that's just imposing limitation, because your mind can only create. It's kind of like unringing a bell. That's not possible, because the bell only rings, just as the mind only creates. Like if somebody says, I mean, we've been teaching this since the 1990s, like, don't smoke, your mind doesn't hear the word do not, it only hears smoke, because the mind is only creative. So if you say, if you say, I am not limited, your mind doesn't hear the word not, it only hears I am limited, and then that's where you impose limitation. So like, to think of scarcity, fear, lack, none of those things exist. They're just imposed limitations on the unlimited. There's no such thing as lack of anything. There is only abundance. And to say I am abundant, well, that's imposing a limitation, because for you to point out abundance, then that implies you believe in lack, the opposite of abundance. So for you to say I am free, that implies that it's possible for you to be other than free. It's kind of an abstract idea. Does that make sense to you? You can kind of see, like, oh, I can see where he's coming from, at least. So for you to state the obvious is implying that you believe that it's possible for you to not be that, because otherwise you would be silent. So how is this relating to you? How are you applying this, hearing this, being this? Let's focus on the remainder of our time on that question. What can I do with this? Okay, first of all, never give your attention to anything other than what you want to create, because your mind only creates. So if you're focusing on evil and thinking that's wrong, Well, what are you doing? You're feeding evil. You're feeding what you feel is wrong. So why would you ever do that? So then how do you talk about things like child trafficking? Well, if you feel like you need to give that any of your attention, which is your power, then be very careful about how you do that. Like you could talk about, you could do it, how your level of passion determines how much power you're giving whatever you are talking about or passionate about, right? So, like, if I were to say, okay, Hollywood is the business aspect of child trafficking, so if I support a movie and it's a mainstream Hollywood movie, then I'm supporting child trafficking, so I have to be very careful about giving any of my attention, thought, power to Hollywood, the movie industry, the music industry. And so just being aware, okay, well, I recognize that this is, or the deep state. Like if I talk about how the deep state, whatever, I have to be very careful because I don't want to feed that. So I talk about this instead in terms of we have all the power, and those who had been feeding off of our power by creating fear, by manufacturing ways of oppressing people, well, I'm focusing on owning my power and not giving in to any of those distractions, those, well, I call it like the dumbing device. The dumbing device is the agent of what? Distraction, disconnection, disempowerment, discombobulation, despair, depression, distancing. Versus you remaining connected with God as God's gift to the world. And when you give your full attention, which is your power, to how can I be of greater service to more people, such as leading them to becoming unlimited, to recognizing that they have always been unlimited, and it was just the dumbing device that had disconnected us, and then you go out into the world and you speak the message of love, of power, of being unlimited, and you can use the social media for that or the dumbing device for that, but you are so much more than that, and you don't get sucked into it, and you don't get distracted, taken out of your power by all this stuff that the dumbing device is attempting to use to steal your focus, your power, to feed off you and your power and your focus. No, I'm so focused on my mission. I'm here to transform the lives of everyone I can. I'm here to liberate humanity. So I'm liberating myself first. I'm liberating my family, my immediate friends, my community, my neighborhood, my town, my region, my area, everyone I am blessed to have connected with me, online as well as offline, all my social media friends. I'm liberating them. And that's where you are giving your attention. That's what you are feeding your power. You're creating your power. You're owning your power. You're standing in your power. You, my friend, are commanding your destiny. You're living your divine design, duty, destiny, Dharma. You're transforming the lives of everyone you are blessed to be able to serve as God's expression in the world, as God's gift to the world. Remember, your life is God's gift to you. How you live your life is your gift to God, the infinite, unlimited, of which you are that expression. So your whole focus is on extending love, extending God, being of greater service to more people. And when you're doing that with your Operation Greatness chapter, that's by far your most meaningful gift that I can imagine. And yet that's just a way of also limiting the unlimited, which is impossible. So you will know, you will trust, you will feel how you can even extend God that much more beyond your Operation Greatness chapter. As meaningful as that is, that's just a starting point. And then that's just your way of creating financial freedom and empowering everyone connected with you, and a way to reconnect everyone connected with you in your local area to transform their lives. And then where you go beyond that, God only knows. Maybe you know as well. Where you go beyond that, where you are taking yourself as the infinite, unlimited expression of God you are. Let's just pause and reflect on that. Okay, so I'm leading my Operation Greatness chapter. I've transformed the lives of all my online friends. They're leading their own chapters. I feel so good knowing that I've had that much impact. I never even imagined I was able to have anywhere near that level of impact or be that level of contribution. Wow. This is how much I matter. This is how powerful I am. I got my 10,000 online friends leading their own chapters. I got another 10,000 people in my local area, or 100,000, or 2 million, whatever it is that you're seeing, because you are unlimited and you can create anything that you want. And that is why you are here, to be of greater service to more people. So you're seeing the life you have now. I'm on top of the world now. I transformed all these people's lives. I'm not small. I'm not holding back, limiting myself in any way now. Where do we go from here? Now what am I going to do to be of greater service? How is God working through me? How am I extending God into the world now, even beyond this? What's coming to mind for you even beyond this creation? That's where it becomes even infinitely more inspiring and exciting, right? Now that I see that I have the power to move mountains and transform the whole world, what am I going to do with my power? How much more is I'm getting chills here. How much more powerful, important, transcendent is this gift that I am to the world? Worth to the world? Where are we taking things from here? Now we're all owning our power. We're all receiving God at the level of 100%. And I talk about, this is really important too. Think about a line between 0 and 100 representing the percentage you are receiving God. Jesus is the example of 100 out of 100, not holding back, not limiting God in any way. And then Jesus said, what? All these things I have done, you will do yourself. And then what did he add? And so much more. I mean, this is where we cannot even imagine how much more grand or godly humanity, the earth, will become by where you are moved by God, as God's gift to the world, as God's gift, as God's instrument for miracles. So receive the message. Okay, so I am unlimited. The only thing I can say is I am, because anything after that is a limitation I was attempting to impose on me, on the gift I am. I'm no longer doing that ever again. I'm no longer limiting God or how much the value of the gift I am is. I'm going to lead my chapter through operationgreatness.com/leader. I'm going to lead, inspire, transform, and liberate all of my online friends and everyone in my local area. There's no limit to how much good I can do in the world, how much the value of the gift I am is, and I'm going to be open to being that gift. And where that goes, where that takes me, you will know. You will know, because you are open and receiving God at the level of 100% out of 100% instead of, I think of, okay, so here's a reference point for this as well. You know that they said Einstein used like 7 or 8% of his brain, right? Where the average person uses like 2 to 5%. And look at what Einstein did, which is with just using like 50% more than the average person, perhaps. He moved mountains and transformed the world. By you just using like 10% of your mind, all these things that I have done, you will do yourself, and so much more. There's no limit to that. Except you're not settling for 10%, you're going to 20%. You're receiving God at the level of 20%, 30%, opening still further right now, more, 40%, 50% open to God. That means still 50% ignorance or not God, and there's no such thing as not God. 60%, are you ready to breathe in God more? 70%. 80%, 90%. Ready? Breathe this in. 100% open to the infinite and unlimited expression of God you are. How does that feel? There's no limit to the good you are doing in the world, to how much of an impact you are having on the world. Where is this taking you? Only God knows. You are God's instrument for miracles in the world. So be it. I receive God completely now. I am no longer limiting the unlimited in any way. This is my gift. God, I am your instrument. I'm open fully now to being of greater service to more people. Send me your essay on what this has meant to you. Go back to the beginning now of this with your Operation Greatness chapter profit partner link. Watch this. Take all of the posts within this Operation Greatness podcast, our chapter meeting for today. Spread this out. Share this. You can probably make 100 posts from this conversation with all your online friends, transforming their lives, leading them, inspiring them, liberating them, doing a little more today, LITL, and being of greater service to more people. So take all the posts that you're making, send them to me in the essay you're sending me from this chapter meeting, dan@danclatt.com. You're getting your chapter, you're leading your chapter at operationgreatness.com/leader. Breathe this in. Own this. This is who you are. You're no longer limiting the unlimited because you, my friend, have become unlimited. This is who you are. This is your nature. This is your purpose. This is what your life is all about. This is your higher purpose. This is why you're here. This is you living your divine design, duty, destiny, Dharma. Any questions about this, let me know, dan@danclatt.com. That's where you're sending me your essay on all of this, sharing your thoughts about everything here. You're also sharing that in our private Wealth Alliance as a chapter leader. You're part of my chapter. You're leading your own. That's through operationgreatness.com/leader. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am. And I am so happy to have been with you as you had your opening to God and became unlimited. Thank you very much.